everybody, welcome back to the Fabric Boutique. I am Natita, the owner of the Fabric Boutique and the author of the book Wives Still Pray. Today's vlog is all about sewing. I know I have been talking about that for quite some time, but I need to quickly go over the inventory list for the refinery as well as begin to start cutting some things out. So let's go ahead, jump right into it, and I'll show you how it all turns out in the end. All right, that is the end. They are all finished. So I have 3 beautiful book sleeves. Love, love, love them all. As you can tell, I added the buttons. You probably saw that part in the video, and each one has its own colored lining, different colored lining for each design that I picked. I love this hot pink. I love them all. It's hard to decide because if I didn't mention at the start of this video, these designs are all my designs, so you cannot purchase these anywhere. There was a time I did a video, maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, because I've had these designs forever and have been waiting for the right opportunity to use them, and I wanted to settle on a few ideas that I had before, you know, I started ordering yardage and everything. So I ordered a bunch of fat quarters maybe a few months ago, and I showed them, and initially I was thinking about coming out because there was a comment on a video about what I consider selling my fabric designs by the yardage. I was thinking about it. We shall see in the future. For right now, I am, and I do get these printed through Spoonflower, so they're not available in the marketplace for purchase. They're private and just for me to print and make designs or make whatever product, and so that's what I'm going to do for now. We shall see. That can change. The tags, I have to tell you, I use my purple tags, so let me just hold this up so you can see. I put them on the back. Now the thing is, I like how that looks. I think that is so nice with these nice fun colors. And the reason is because initially I was thinking I'll put them on the inside. That's what I typically do, put them on the inside. But now that I did those, made the other labels, I was thinking I would put them on the outside. But I like all the fun color, and I like how this is right here on the back, easy to see. And so that is what I decided to do. You may have noticed at the start I had cut out a book sleeve with the pocket on the front, which was my intention to do for all of these. But as I looked at it, I realized, uh-oh, I only ordered fat quarter size, and I had the design repeat a certain way on certain designs, and the way I had it repeating, there was not enough room on 2 of these that I had initially started to do pockets, so I had to recut out. I actually cut out this design, the Nahum 1-7 design with the white background, but I went back in with the darker background, and because the main reason is because I didn't realize, I was trying to line everything up, but the salvage edge, I didn't realize I had cut some of the salvage, and so that wouldn't work. And so I decided I decided not to do pockets on any of them, and figure maybe that'll be a thing for the future that I do on some on the designs, and offer maybe for a limited time or something. You'll have to let me know. Do you know, would you prefer the pockets, would you not, all year round, or I might just do a little drop in the fall winter. But because I did cut this out, and I do have, you know, some scraps from these fat quarters like this, so I have enough like this from each one, so we are not wasting this. I believe I can probably get either a long, I'm thinking about a long pencil case that I would like to do for each of these. This is enough to do a pencil case. All of that is enough for a pencil case for all of these. They're the same width and length, and this one I can do the pencil case, but because I cut out the pocket piece, I might be able to do a little coin pouch, something like that. I don't obviously want to waste any of this fabric because it is pricey. Again, this comes from Spoonflower, and so I love my designs. So this is another thing that I did. Also, I mentioned this before in a previous video, but I know it's been a while since I talked about the book sleeves. But the intention with my book sleeves, all of them will come with a button closure. So they all have the button closure. I use different color elastic to bring over to the front so you can close it. And these buttons are actually out of my own stash. I have a ton of buttons. For those who don't know, I make all of my clothes. I make my own clothes, my own handbags, all this different stuff. And I also make things for my husband as well. And so I sometimes have all these random buttons, and then when I purchased a machine from somebody's family, they had a whole bunch of buttons and everything. So I have a lot of buttons. So I figure to reuse those buttons, because I know I won't use them all, I am just going to use them randomly on the book sleeves for part of the closure. So you won't have necessarily the same button. Now for these two, you do have the same button, but it's on two different design book sleeves. So yeah, that's what you would have. I only had two of those buttons, so this is the two. I am not going to make these available just yet on the website. I am going to have them in the shop, in the refinery first, to see how they go. Let me know what you think of these designs and the idea of doing a pencil case with them, and maybe a little coin pouch. I will have to get more of the fabric printed, and I have to scale it just a little bit different because I want to make sure that it's not cutting anything pertinent off. And so for the fat quarters, maybe a little bit of something, because these are actually, none of these are directional print. None of these designs. I have some that are directional, but these are non-directional, so it wasn't a big deal for these. But for my directional print, I want to make sure that when I have the yardage printed off, it's printed off in the way that it's not necessarily cutting things off when I cut this out. And so yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Also, pro tip for those who do buttons, or maybe you do the closure for the book sleeve, always use your, let me just hold it up here, I have it here. This is on hand because I sew a lot, but use your freight check, have your freight check on hand, and just put a little bit where you have the button on the inside here and on the outside. And even though you tie it off when you attach your buttons, you know how you put the knot and everything, we're putting buttons in, still just put a little dot of freight check on there just to continue to secure that in place, because obviously that is a lot, you know, pulling over. And when I stitched down the elastic, I went over it like 4 times just because there's going to be a lot of pulling and closing. And so what size book goes into these? So let me grab a couple books and show you. So the finished measurement is 7 by 11, and of course you can put the Wives Still Pray book inside. Goes in easily, drops right in. You can have your notes, and the Wives Still Pray journal will also fit in here. But you also have, this is I Surrender All by Priscilla Schreier. You kind of see the thickness. I have a pen in there, but you kind of see the thickness of the book. That fits right in here as well, very comfortably. So yeah, that is the size book. Maybe I will call this a medium size book sleeve, because the Priscilla Schreier book is, let's see here, how many pages? 243. So probably a 300-page book will fit comfortably in here, whether it's paperback or hardcover. And so, or hey, both of these can fit inside. So let's do that so you can see easily fit right in there, slides right in there. And then you have the closure. You can easily close it right in front. And let me show you that. There you go. So that's how you can store your book, and so slide your pens and whatnot in there. So let me know what you think. That is this week's video. I will do I do have some more fabrics and everything that I can make more of these right now, because the latest news is it's time for us to start uploading our inventory. So that's why I had that list there, and things are moving within a couple weeks. We have gotten an okay to go back in and finish setting up. So of course I'm going to be taking you on that journey. I still have to get a bookshelf and and need to get the screws for those other shelves I showed you. But yeah, that is it, everybody. That's it for today. I want to thank you again for tuning in. Tune in every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time for a new video. I think next week, over the next week, I am going to, because I want to make sure when I start taking things up to the refinery, I have some ready to take up. I will be working on the Date with Jesus bundles, and so yeah, I want to work on those. So that should be next week's video. It should be. That should be next week's video. So stay tuned, and then I'll continue to work on more book sleeves. And yeah, I'm quite excited. And they are, if I didn't say that, they are padded with fleece, but you probably saw me cut that out as well. All right, everybody, have a blessed one, and yeah, we will see you next Wednesday. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and follow us over on our social media. All right, everybody, have a good one. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.